I think one of the things as well, so one of the other threads I want to kind of pull apart a little bit here, and it's, I had an initial thread in my mind, and I'm going to extend on it ever so slightly, so apologies for that. I know
Okay.
I'm pulling and pulling and pulling. Um, One of the things I was going to bring up was as we were talking about the various different specs and all of that stuff, obviously different devices will be suited to different industries, different use cases. But equally, I think, as you were explaining there, around the peripherals and around the different requirements, I would imagine the same organization may have different device requirements for different levels of engineer. An engineer that is going in that's perhaps Pareto principle, it tackles the 80% of the average jobs, and is a fairly rudimentary process workflow in obviously with great respect to the engineer, something that's not out of the norm or doesn't have so much of a brand ambassador role, no presenting to the customer perhaps. Well, that's where something like a powerful 8-inch tablet that is got that portability and is easy to kind of carry around, great. Perhaps if it's something that is more of a senior role or more of a, we're increasingly seeing the blurring of lines between sales and service in certain industries, where the engineer may go on do more of an MOT, an audit of all the assets, and then have to present back to the customer. Well, in that case, they're probably going to want a notebook that allows them to perhaps give that overview, show those dashboards, but also input that data manually via a keyboard. Um, how do you? I suppose the way I'll phrase that question, because it's more of a broad statement with a question mark at the end of it. Really, I suppose the way I phrase that is, what role do you play as the manufacturer in guiding your customers, having those conversations, saying, well, what's the workflow of engineer A? Do you have different engineers performing different roles? And is there almost a consultative level there, or would they need to go to a reseller? Talk to us about that in terms of the making sure the service organisation has the right device and maybe multiple devices across the organisation. I hope that question made sense, because
It
it has
does.
full of a few different threads.
Yeah, absolutely it does. And so, look, the IT manager, the IT director, would love to have one device that all their people can use, right? It's one image, it's one form factor. It makes life so much easier and less complicated. Uh, Clearly, the reality is that different people in different roles may need different devices. And so, what are the kinds of things that an IT manager might be able to do to minimize the variables? One thing that comes top of mind is keep everything Windows. Don't make it more complicated than that. No reason to introduce make life more complicated with a different operating system, right? Keep it all Windows. We're a big supporter of Windows. All of our devices are Windows-based devices. We do leverage resellers exclusively in the United States, and we do encourage the resellers to sit down with customers and go through the different options of Durabook devices. And then, of course, we get involved in a lot of those conversations as well. But look, we also respect the knowledge that an IT director brings in their background, right? That's what they do, and we don't want to second guess, what they're doing and what their objectives are. What we want to do is be able to share the different tools we have that could fit into their organizations, and certainly make recommendations and suggestions on what we've seen. I think one of the values we can bring and what our reseller partners can bring is, the best in breed of solutions in different kinds of circumstances, and be able to help those customers, learn from others, and finding the best products for what they're trying to do.
Hi there, my name is Chris Oldland. I'm the editor-in-chief and founder of Field Service News. I hope you found that short excerpt from one of our in-depth, long-form interviews of use. If you did, then why not have a look at an FSM Pro membership? This will give you access to over 70 hours plus of in-depth, long-form interviews where you can access the full interview. You also get access to the world's leading resource library dedicated specifically to the field service management sector. Over 130 resources that cover key areas such as digital transformation in field service, remote service technology and how that aligns to on-site service delivery, servitization, advanced services. All of these key areas and many more. There are key resources so you can learn from your peers and those that are leading the way in how the field service world is evolving. There's also the new FSN education platform, and we're adding courses there every single month with already a number of masterclass courses that don't just give you knowledge but actually give you the blueprint so you can develop a program within your own organisation and see real world value. You can access all of this content for just £450 a month, or you can access it on a monthly basis at £45 a month. Head over to fieldservicenews.com, subscribe and find out more.